Welcome to PrepsNet Coach Speak with Tabernacle Christian head basketball coach Matt Grimes. Here's your host, Aubrey Johnson.
Welcome back, Coach.
It's good to be back.
Good deal. So last week you had a number of games. We're going to take each one in turn. The first one was on the 12th against Trinity Christian. That came through as a win, 49-40. Tell us about the game.
Well, went over there. We knew it'd be competitive. It's competitive every time we go over there.
Yeah.
We started off. It was really close pretty much the entire time.
Right.
They ran a zone on us, and so we're just still beginning of the season, trying to figure out exactly how to play that. We did kind of maintain a lead. Really, it came down to the end of the game. I don't remember exactly what the score was. Pretty close. They switched to a man. We were able to get a few scores right off that,
right,
and kind of get that lead out close to 10, and just able to maintain that for the last minute or two. So, but that was good. We had our leading scorer was Tucker Andrews. He finished with 22. Aaron Peters finished with 15, and Eric Reed, another senior, had 11. So it was good getting three guys in double digits.
Yeah.
And it's always good when that can happen. So
yes, it is. So next up, you traveled to Hueytown and lost to Brook Lane Baptist 88-51. What happened that night?
Well, that one we started off, actually it was pretty competitive for the first half of the quarter.
Right.
And then Aaron Peters went down with an ankle injury.
Oh, no.
And so we lost him for the game. And just their style of play, they are they'll press you, and then even on defense, they're going to try to trap you a little bit, and they are just ready to go back down to the offensive end.
Wow.
So the second they get their hands on the ball, they're taking off. And,
okay.
And
pretty aggressive.
Yeah, very aggressive offensively. Really, their offensive strategy is get the ball up as fast as you can and see how many points you can put on the board. And so they were able to pull away from us there. Really, they went on a pretty good run in the second quarter, pulled it away, and we weren't ever able really to bring that one back.
Right.
With Aaron being out, Tucker had to take over a little bit more. He finished with 32, which I believe is probably a career high for him. Good. I'd have to check on that. And then Eric Reed finished again with 9, so another solid showing for him. So
good deal. Next up, you played Hope Christian, lost to them 56-40. Tell us about that night.
This is another one where we played them our first game of the season.
Yeah.
So we were hoping when they came here we'd be we're a little farther along, a little more ready, but having Aaron out, I think really hurt us a little bit.
Right.
We were able to kind of try to get some stuff going. I think the second half, the scoring was relatively even. So we ended up, I think, losing by about 16, but that's probably about what the gap was at halftime.
Right.
In that one, we had Tucker only was able to come up with 10, but Austin Batson, junior for us, was able to put in another 10.
Sure.
And so that would be our fourth guy this season to hit double digits. So it's good to keep getting some more options. And then Daniel Bensko, one of our freshmen, was able to come in off the bench and put in another 8 points. So that was good to start getting him going as well.
Gotcha. Good deal. So last night you played Trinity again, this time at home. You won 38-29. Yep. How did that go?
Well, the scoring obviously not as high overall as we would like it to be.
Right.
It was both teams really tried running offense. Neither of us were really in a hurry to go down and shoot the ball as fast as we could. So I kind of kept the scores down. The good news for us is it was really the first game, the best game this season of us running our offense properly, really trying to wait for the open looks and the shots that we wanted. And so that really worked out for us. Trinity did actually start off, I want to say, started the game on a 7-0 run, and then we were just able to gradually bring it back. I think we had a 3-point lead at halftime and then pushed that out to a 9-point win.
Right.
So it was good. Eric Reed was our leading scorer for this one. He finished with 15. Tucker ended up with 11. And then Colton Tidwell, sophomore for us, was able to hit a couple threes and finish with 8 points. So again, just another guy getting into the scoring role and give us a few more options. So
okay, great. Well, we've talked about several. We've got several more to talk about coming up here in the very near future. But first, a word from our sponsor.
PrepsNet Coach Speak with Tabernacle Christian School head basketball coach Matt Grimes is proudly sponsored by Campus Traditions. Go Torches!
Coach, tonight you play at Clay County.
Yes.
They are currently 0-4, so your record's a little bit better than theirs right now. Tell us what you expect to see from the Eagles.
Traditionally they're a zone team, and so we'll go down, see that again. Which the good news is, every team we've played so far this season has run a zone.
Nice.
So obviously that helps.
It won't be new, will it?
It will not be new. We've got some practice, some experience against it.
Right.
So theirs, I think, is traditionally more of a 2-3. We'll see exactly what they do tonight.
Sure.
But either way, we should be relatively prepared for that. And so then it's just going to get back and play our normal defense and go from there. It should be probably a competitive game again. We'll still be without Aaron and without Jeremy, our other senior, who's been out all season. And so we're going to go down and see if we can get one. This will be our first conference counter game, and so our first region game. So it'll be an important win for us, especially with missing those two seniors, to try to still get one. So.
Sure. So Friday night you play Chilton Christian once again, this time at their place. How do you game plan against this team?
Well, Chilton's got one elite scorer, very, very good. He's always been able to score points. He's got very good body control, so he really can draw fouls like I'd say nobody I've ever seen, but he's right there at the top.
Yeah.
And again, it's not that they're not fouls. He legitimately is that good at drawing them with his body control.
Right.
So it's going to be, the focus is going to be on him. We started off that way. We've already played him earlier this season. I think he's still at about 21 points or so. But when we played them the first time, they actually got up, I think it was 21-10. At the end of the first quarter, they were ahead. So then we had to claw our way back. So we're hoping this week to have a little bit better start and not have to climb back so much throughout the game. So.
Right, gotcha. So I have a question. You've got a couple of teams that we've talked about already in this show that you've played or will have played twice. Does that mean, what does that mean as far as preparation for you? Do you take that first game and then build upon it based on what you've seen, or do you just game plan based on what your team can do?
A little bit of both. So our strategy is always, we want to do what we do.
Right.
And so when we practice and we prepare for a season, here's our kind of our strategy for the year. And then we'll just take and adapt certain things. So we're going to run essentially the same base defense, but we have slight adjustments we can make based on if they have, one really good scorer or if it's multiple scorers, and then based on their defense. So we'll have a couple different offenses we can run. If it's somebody who sets a lot of ball screens, maybe we'll focus a little bit more on that on practice.
Gotcha.
So it all depends. We'll take what we do and just ever so slightly tweak it to adjust for what it is that they do.
Nice.
But for the most part, we try to play our style of basketball.
Makes sense. Well, Coach, we want to make mention, this is important, the cheerleading team has a competition up at Cornerstone Christian in Rainsville at 11 o'clock on Saturday. So want to make mention of that. Be sure to try to make it out. That's our show. Appreciate your time. We certainly appreciate you showing up week in and week out for another Tabernacle version of Coach Speak.